page. And also, for those of you that are members of Zango University, they are in your back office. And so on the Facebook page, Collie Butler has graciously set up a tab for us under the called Notes. And you just go in there and tap our Maximize Monday logo there, and it'll pull up everything. So, yes, star 6, even though we will be now muting the phones so that we can record this call. Sandy, if you'd like to go ahead and record. I would like to thank Naomi Anderson for being our greeter every single week faithfully. I want to share that my co-host, Jim Webb, is still very busy with Candy, not doing too well, so I would ask for your prayers and thoughts for Candy over the weeks to come. She is trying to rehab with a great deal of difficulty. So we miss Jim, but I know he'll be back when he can. And, of course, Sandy Cohen for every single week, putting our webinars together, running them for us, keeping me in line. I appreciate that, Sandy. And for Collie, posting the Notes tab for us. So for everybody involved, thank you very much. Well, it's our first Monday of the month, and remember that our first Monday of the month is all about the state of the Zango Union, and every first Monday of the month we have a founder from Zango and come on and share with us. And I am thrilled to introduce our special Zango founder and board member tonight, Mr. Kent Wood, who is one of the original founders of Zango. And for many of you that don't know, he loves sports, quite a bit in running too, aren't you, Kent? Do I have Kent here? Did we lose him?
He was there.
Yeah, hold on. Let's see if we can get him back here. I will. Let me make sure he has the speaker code. I think we gave it to Tammy, but hold on just a minute, guys. Sorry.
For those of you just coming on, we lost Kent Wood for a second here, so
he'll be back.
Okay.
Okay, he probably came in on the participants code instead of the moderator code, but he's coming back. But in the meantime, let me share with you, I love listening to Kent Wood because Kent is always sharing with us statistics about what's going on in our industry, where Zango has been, where we're at, where we're going. I love it when he shares history about other companies and things that have happened to them over their lifetime of their businesses, and it's always very encouraging to realize the excellence of our company in every way, whether it be our products or our compensation plan or simply the relationships that we have with the Zango founders and the Zango executive team, all the way down to the people that answer the phones in customer service. Zango is known for being a quality company to work for and has actually been recognized as the #1 company to work for in Utah. So, Kent, have you by chance gotten back on? Let me see if I can just call him here.
Carolyn, I'm on.
Oh, you are on. Okay.
I used the generic code when I got on. My apologies.
Okay. No problem. Well,
not very good with numbers.
Yeah. Maybe not with your fingers, but when it comes to anything else and it comes to number, nobody can beat you. So I have introduced you. I don't know how much of it you heard, but I also want to share the honor and the privilege it's been to be a business partner with you and the rest of the founders and the traveling that we've been able to do around the world. And it's been fun, and a privilege for all of us to have these opportunities with Zango. So, Kent, it's your night to share the state of the Zango Union.
Well, Carolyn, thank you so very much for inviting me. I want to thank each of you who have joined the call this evening for being a part of this. Sandy, I know Jim and Candy are not on the call, but what great friends, Jim and Candy Webb. Sandy, I should include your amazing husband, Ed, in any reference to you. Hearing Naomi Anderson's voice, Steve and Cindy Hall, Collie Butler in the work that she does with Zango University. These are very, very dear friends of mine that, as Carolyn mentioned, our relationships have not only been fostered by the experiences that we enjoy working together and building the business, but taking advantage of the many life-changing opportunities that are part of the Zango opportunity. And the fact that you would spend your Monday evening with your leaders, with your teams, and with me is certainly very much appreciated. Carolyn, I love that you describe these as the Maximize Monday call. And if there's one thing about this organization, about Zango University, about Zango and the opportunity associated with Zango, it's to maximize the opportunity that we've been given to touch lives, to impact people, to impact the lifestyles of our friends, of our family members, and the many that we can influence because of the products and because of the business opportunity associated with Zango. In addition, we're starting a brand new month, and my encouragement to you is that you not only maximize today, but you maximize the month of May. Let's take the action required wherever your business happens to be. If you're brand new and just starting, if you're one of these amazing 200Ks or 500Ks that are part of tonight's call, let's make sure that this month, the month of May 2016, has an impact on what our business is when 4 weeks from now we get to the end of the month and review where it is that we are. I purposefully did not put together slides because I wanted to take the opportunity this evening to just communicate to you from my heart and to review based on the relationships that we all share being a part of the Zango family. Review where we've been, where we are, and where we are going. It so happens that 13 years ago today, so Friday, May 2nd, 2003, we happened to host Zango's very first event, convention, I suppose you could call it. But because we were so new, having just started our business the prior November, we had been in business for less than 6 months. We were hesitant to call it a convention or a regional or to attach any other label to that event, and so we called it the Snowbird event. Held at an amazing canyon ski resort about 20 minutes from our office here in Utah, and invited all of our distributors to join us. I know that Sandy was there. Collie was certainly one of the distributors, one of our leaders in attendance. From a timeline perspective, a lot of our leaders that are in your organizations haven't even enrolled in Zango prior to this event. Some of them had and hadn't necessarily plugged into the business side of it. They were still becoming familiar with our juice, with the compensation plan, dipping their toe in the water, so to speak. And so it was a very unique time in our history. But the fact of the matter is 13 years ago today, we pulled together our distributors in what was our first event. And it was through that event that we were starting to create this identity. We were starting to create what would eventually be associated with the Zango brand, with the Zango reputation, in terms of the rapid evolution, the rapid growth that would come to this very new startup that would go on in the next several years to set some industry records based on those growth rates, based on the success that our distributor leaders would have. So 13 years ago, in that amazing canyon, just one of the most beautiful settings on earth, we brought together these initial leaders. I believe that the top ranks at the time would have been, we may have had a couple of 100Ks. For the most part, all of our top leaders, they're the highest rank that many of them had achieved by that point in time was Premier. And many of them were 2 days into being a Premier, that they qualified in April 2003, right before showing up at Snowbird. And frankly, they did so by working out clear up until 11:59 p.m. on April 30th to lock in that qualification so that they could show up at this event with a brand new pin title of Premier. And yet, since then, they've become multi-million-dollar earners. They've seen their businesses expand into nearly every corner of the earth, representing languages and currencies and all of the different growth that has taken place over these 13 years. So last week, my partner Gordon Morton ended up sending me a photo during the recognition portion of that event. And he did so. He was going through some of his files and found it, just mesmerizing as he saw these pictures of us and our families. At the time, I had 3 daughters. We've added 2 since then, but the daughters that we had, our oldest was 10. She's now married and graduated from college. We've got another daughter who's lived in Europe or in the UK. She's off going to school. All of these life changes that picture from 13 years ago represent. And similarly, each of you over the last 13 years, those of you who have been in Zango for that period of time, could look at some of those pictures and reminisce on what Zango means to you and your family based on the evolution that all of us have been able to go through being a part of this amazing company. So we had no $1 million earners in May of 2003. There were no 500Ks. As I said, I don't think we even had qualified 200Ks. There were no lifestyle bonuses, no rank advancement bonuses, no products other than our amazing Zango Juice, a very different level of functionality on our website, on the back office. Just looking at what Zango offered, May 2nd, 2003 certainly represented a different day, a different era. But for so many of the leaders on this call, that day, that event, created a fundamental shift in how they approached their business. By being there, it validated their belief, and with that belief, recruiting shot through the roof. We went from, as a company, recruiting a couple hundred people every month to recruiting tens of thousands. That belief, plus their activity, constant, incessant activity, telling the Zango story, hosting calls, making invites, hosting meetings, ultimately led these leaders to the multi-million-dollar earners and some of the most significant life changes and financial transformations that this industry has ever seen. But it wasn't just belief, and it wasn't just their activity. It was the combination of both of those working together that have created the success that our leaders have enjoyed, that Zango has enjoyed. So where are we now? You have in your hands this evening everything that small group of leaders dreamed of one day having. They dreamed of having a success pattern that they could point to. They dreamed of having leadership in the company so deep that they could call on any of their friends who were 500Ks to join them for 3 ways, to speak at their meetings, to edify their trainings and the systems that they were implementing with their own teams. They dreamt of an international business. They dreamt of multiple product lines. They dreamt of the day that we would have processed over 900 commission runs on time every single week, and we have all of that today. By being a part of Zango, by being a part of Zango University, by being in Sandy's team and Carolyn's team, or the Halls, or Collie Butler's team, Naomi's team, you have access to all of these things that have become part of Zango Nation over the last 13 years. Now that resort that we were at, those of you who haven't been back since, or those of you who have never been to Snowbird, if you ever get the chance to take a drive up there, I want you to think of the work that went in to paving a road up through a very difficult canyon to navigate that created an opportunity to put a resort up there, a resort that would host one of Zango's very first event. And now people from all over the world make the pilgrimage to Salt Lake City for ski vacations and take that road that others have paved, and they follow that road and have experiences that very few people on the planet are able to enjoy because of what exists. And your leaders have created a road that can lead you to greater income, greater health, greater freedom, the ability to work with people who are some of the brightest business and financial minds that you'll ever be associated with. That road has been paved, and your job is to make the trip. Your job is to do whatever it takes to get your business headed in the right direction so that you can leverage what has been created for you. Now, those of you who have been with Zango for a while, and whether it has been life getting in the way, whether it was pressures at work, whether it was distractions, whatever it may be, I don't want you to evaluate your current position in Zango, whether that's your title, whether it's your volume, whether it's your current check, and allow today to define what it is that you can accomplish with this amazing business. Carl Baird once said, though no one can go back and make a brand new start, anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. So regardless of where you're at, I want you to use this month, I want you to use the call tonight and the support you have from your appalling leaders to script out the ending that you want your professional career to represent, that you want your personal financial statement to represent, that you want your influence in terms of whether it's philanthropy, whether it's assisting people with health, whatever impact you want to have in this world, regardless of what the last 13 years or 13 days have had in store for you, let's start from now and make a brand new ending by seizing what Zango offers you to go through and change lives with us. one of the most beautiful things about your leadership team, regardless of whose specific team, regardless of who your specific sponsor may have been, there's a collection of leaders on this call, hosting this call every single week, that are doing so to give you a pattern to follow to reach success, to accomplish what it is that you want. And to do so, I want to use the image of a Christmas gift that we did for our family when our daughters were much, much smaller. It was probably 10 years ago that we got a tabletop wooden train set as our family Christmas gift. And our daughters have played with it over the years. When people come and play with our kids, it's one of those toys that has just never gone out of style. And friends will come and play with it. But invariably, when small children come over and start playing with it, the track, everything gets completely destroyed. And so even though we've had this table for going on 10 years, I still have to go back to the instruction manual to be able to reassemble it. I'm sure with trial and error, I could figure out how to put all of the pieces together to enable it to function, but it is so much quicker after rebuilding this track hundreds of times over the years, much quicker to reference an instruction sheet and follow it. And I encourage you to reference the instruction manual, to reference the pattern that your leaders have created for you in building your Zango business, and to follow it over and over and over again. And as you go through those steps, the activities that they've taught you to do, as soon as you complete a cycle, as soon as you make it through whatever process they've outlined for you to do, go right back to step one and do it again. And the more that we go through this cycle in building our businesses, the more effective we're going to become at recruiting, at leading, at inspiring, at growing not only our checks, but the checks of those who are looking to you for leadership. Zango put forth a duplication model that is very generic. And to the extent that you're already plugged in to a duplication model, please stick with that one and follow it. But for those of you who are not using a model, follow the Power of Three plan. You can go to our website and identify what steps you can use to be able to start building your business with consistency. Sam Snead, a golfer from decades ago, said practice puts brains in your muscles. And whether it's golf or whether you are trying to become a more effective business builder, going through the activities repetitiously is going to help you become so much more effective at what it is that you're trying to do. Now, the great thing about it is there's, Carolyn mentioned how much I love sports, and it certainly was a great part of teaching me lessons that I've been able to apply in the business world. Taught me discipline, taught me about the importance of teams and the people that I was surrounded with. But ultimately, most games, most sporting events are attached to a clock. And when that clock hits zero, they're going to draw a line under the results and going to winner and going to loser and move forward with that single performance being permanently attached to those participants. With Zango, there's no time clock. Now, in order to generate results, we all need to have the self-discipline to be able to act with urgency, to be able to accomplish what we need to today, this week, this month, and so on, in order to generate the results that we are seeking. But it goes back to Carl Bard's reference to, hey, we can have a start now and make a brand new ending. That you don't have to be defined, your business does not have to be defined by previous results, because starting tonight, we can go out and create new results that will better define our long-term potential, our long-term impact in Zango. Carolyn, I would love to leave it open for you or some of your other top leaders if there are specific topics that you'd like me to touch on before wrapping up. I certainly give you that opportunity.
Thank you, Kent. If somebody has a question, we can unmute the phones in just a second, but please remember that if we do that, all that background noise pops up. So I would like to tell you, Kent, that I loved your train analogy, because I think so often that we sometimes find ourselves not where we thought we would be or wanted to be, and sometimes, and I'm first one to be guilty of not always doing a good job of analyzing why not and taking accountability for why not. But I also think that sometimes people will get themselves to a point of where they think, gosh, I can't do it anyway. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. And the truth of the matter is that we decide whether we're smart enough or good enough. And sometimes we let our own minds be our worst enemies. So I loved you encouraging people to take today as the first day, regardless of what yesterday was. Because even those, and I know Sandy would agree, and Grace would agree, and Barbara Schmidt, and probably Steve or anybody else that you talk to that has accomplished a good level and enjoyed the fruits of that we all find ourselves from time to time wondering, wow, can I keep doing this? How did I do it? Can I do it more? And your training story was awesome. So I thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Carolyn.
I really appreciate it. So we didn't get your numbers slides, but wow, we got something just as good, if not better. So I do want to, before we open the lines, let me just do a little bit of things here, Kent, so that we get through them in case we run out of time here. But Sandy, if you want to go ahead and move to our promotions for the month, that would be great.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, Carolyn, just announce to everybody if they have any questions, in the upper left-hand corner of their screen is a Q&A box. That's where they need to put their question. Otherwise, the recording will be just horrid with background noise.
Oh, okay. Okay, so do that. Put it in the Q&A.
Perfect solution.
Yeah, great, Sandy. I apologize for not remembering that. So let's go through the promotions for the month, and then if you people would like to put your questions in the box, then we can have Kent address them as soon as we're done. So very quickly, we have the Mangosteen Trios collection this month. Remember, the pericarp oil, the Brighton, and the Mangosteen Balm. And for those of you that have not ever tried the Mangosteen Balm, I am so excited that they're available this month because I ran out, and I love it. So I had one in every person briefcase and everything. So this is a great promotion for Mother's Day this month. That's the Mangosteen Trio Collection, saving $76. And then the free balm. And I think I need to order 2 of those. Okay, I'm glad there's no limits. Next is the Eris, the limited time Eris pricing. Remember, this is the Marine Collagen Complex, which is my very favorite of the trio. I love the cream, but I love the collagen and what it has done for me over the last 8 or 9 months now. I don't even know, maybe even going close to a year. But the collagen is especially priced this month, as well as the Eye Renewal Cream and the Duo. So make sure that you are checking online for the promotions because they are just this month, if I'm not mistaken. Wow, it's $51 savings on the whole package. So everything there's a savings, you guys, except for the instant eye gels. So make sure you look at the packaging. Next slide. And, of course, our Duo, which I love this one because it's been extended. I love getting the 2 cases, the Reserve and the juice, the regular original juice. And I think I've shared with you in the past that I really didn't get onto the Reserve because I'd been so used to taking the juice all these years, but you definitely can tell a difference. And I had a friend pass away about a week or so ago, and we were at the service afterwards Saturday at a reception, and the son came up to me, and he said there was still, because I'd provided her with juice, and he said, my mom still had 3 cases of juice, and I started drinking it last week, and I can feel it. Do you mind if I keep it? So I thought that was so cute because he came up and wanted to know if he could keep the juice because he loved it. So anyway, it's a great product. So get on that. It's an amazing savings. Next one. Next slide, please. And Super XVA. Now, I just got a message from Sharon Sharif telling us, of course, we know that all the VIP tickets are sold, but you want to make sure that you hurry. If you have not yet bought your tickets, you want to make sure that you buy the general tickets. I believe that's what they are. The general tickets, right, Kent, for $79. And
that's correct.
Right, and there's a limited supply of them as well. They are the preferred status tickets for $79, which is a very inexpensive weekend for everything that you're going to learn and all the new stuff we're going to hear about. Right, Kent?
I am telling you what Gordon is planning this event on behalf of the founding team. And if any of you have been at an event and a meeting with Gordon Morton, you know that $79 is a bargain for the energy that he will bring, for the business tips that he can give you and your team. Make sure that you are there. And you get to hang around in Sandy Cohen's hometown. So how much better can your business be?
Not much. Okay, so next one, Sandy, is, of course, Trip to Paradise. Don't forget, it's not too late, and look for the rules. Remember, Collie did that amazing presentation to tell you how to get to Paradise. It is on the Facebook on Zango University under the Notes tab. Go to it, share it with your team, share it with prospective distributors that may want to take a trip with you to Mexico. There's plenty of time to qualify. It's in August, so let's all get to Paradise. Last time I think they had, 800, 700 people. I don't know how many went last time, Ken, but there was a lot.
Enough to fill 2 resorts. We actually had to go to a second resort to accommodate all of our qualifiers.
Yeah, and they were beautiful resorts. Okay, and then this Wednesday, May 4th, 6 p.m., is the Zango University event, Ask and It Is Given. So this is one that we've been talking about for several weeks that Sandy is putting on, so please get on that call. Here's, just register through the xuevents.com, and they'll have all the information, 6 p.m. Pacific time. All right. I think that's about it. Oh, yeah, don't forget our Adam Blake. I love it. I hope a lot of you have taken advantage of the training that he's offering. And if you have not contacted him yet, please, Adam Blake at Zango.com. He will help train you on your back office, on the Paradise Trip information, on iBonus, on customer pays. It doesn't make any difference. When it comes to the computer and the back office and My Builder, he is an expert and he loves teaching. So take advantage of that because he is very serious about helping you. And, of course, I love Sandy's endings. You know, if not now, then when? If not you, then who? History is being written right now. The story it tells is up to you. And, you know, I love that. So appropriate tonight, Sandy, because it goes right along with what Kent is just talking about. So if there are any questions, Sandy, can you share them with us? And if not, then I would ask Kent to go ahead and say his final words. Okay.
And
well,
I didn't see any pop up, Carolyn.
Nope,
so
I
did see some very generous comments from so many great friends, great leaders in the chat box. I want to let each of you know how much we treasure, we being Zengo, whether it's Adam Blake, whether it's Aaron Garrity, and all of our staff at our headquarters office, how much it means that you are working with us to build your business. I can't wait to just completely set new records as we work hand in hand with you to create what our future holds.
Well, Kent, we appreciate your time. And speaking of Aaron Garrity, he is our first Monday of the month of June, our State of the Union founder of June, Aaron Garrity. So we're excited about that. And thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us this evening, Kent. Your words of wisdom were well received. I see the notes. I see the little thank yous, and I so appreciate it. Everybody, have an amazing week. Have a blessed week, and we will all talk next Monday. Good night.
Thank you, Carolyn. Blessings to you, Kent.